Let me ask you something. If I told you there was an investment strategy that beats most professional Wall Street fund managers, not sometimes, not occasionally, but consistently, year after year, would you think it was some secret hedge fund trick? Some insider knowledge only available to the ultra-rich? What if I told you it's so simple, a 10-year-old could do it? Welcome to index funds. And yes, Warren Buffett, the greatest investor who ever lived, is absolutely obsessed with them.
Let's start with a basic question. What even is a stock market index? Think of it like a playlist. The Billboard Hot 100 doesn't pick songs based on someone's taste, it just tracks the 100 most popular songs right now. Similarly, a stock market index, like the S&P 500, tracks the 500 biggest companies in the United States. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, all in one neat package.
An index fund is simply a fund that buys every single stock in that index, automatically. No human picking winners, no analyst in a suit deciding what's hot. Just the whole market, all at once. You buy one index fund. You own a tiny piece of 500 companies. That's it. Now here's where it gets wild. Every year, thousands of highly paid, Harvard-educated fund managers spend their careers trying to beat the market. They have supercomputers, research teams, and Bloomberg terminals worth more than most people's cars. And yet, study after study shows that over a 15-year period, roughly 90% of actively managed funds underperform a simple S&P 500 index fund. 90%. Let that sink in. These are the smartest people in finance, and a fund that runs on autopilot beats nearly all of them. Why? Because markets are brutally efficient. By the time a fund manager thinks they've spotted an opportunity, thousands of other smart people have already acted on it. Prices adjust almost instantly. There's no edge. And on top of that, all those smart people are expensive. Active funds charge fees, sometimes 1%, 2%, even more per year. That doesn't sound like much, but compounded over 30 years, a 2% annual fee can eat up nearly half your investment returns. Half. Gone. To someone who couldn't beat the market anyway. Index funds, by contrast, often charge fees as low as 0.03% per year. That's 3 cents on every $100. Practically free. So where does Warren Buffett come in? Buffett, worth over $100 billion, arguably the most successful investor in history, has repeatedly said that for most ordinary people, investing in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund is the single best financial decision they can make. He said it in his annual shareholder letters. He said it in interviews. He even made a famous $1 million bet in 2007, challenging Wall Street's best hedge funds to beat a simple S&P 500 index fund over 10 years. The index fund won by a landslide. And here's the part that really hits home. In his will, Buffett has instructed that 90% of the money left to his wife be put into, you guessed it, a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. This man could hire anyone on earth to manage that money, and he chose the autopilot option. If that doesn't tell you something, nothing will.
Let's talk about why this works over time. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned an average of about 10% per year, before inflation, closer to 7% after. It crashes, yes. 2008 was brutal. 2020 dropped 30% in weeks. But every single time in history, the market has come back. And it's always ended up higher than before. This is the power of compound growth. If you invest $5,000 today and never touch it, at 7% annual growth, in 30 years, you'd have over $38,000 without doing a single thing, without reading a single earnings report, without losing a single night of sleep over stock prices. That's not magic. That's math.
Here's what makes index funds especially powerful for a global audience. You don't have to be American to invest in American companies or global ones. Platforms around the world now offer access to index funds tracking the US market, European markets, emerging markets, or the entire world in one fund. Whether you're in Lagos, London, Mumbai, or Manila, you can participate in global economic growth. And because index funds are diversified by design, spread across hundreds or thousands of companies, you're never betting everything on one stock, one sector, or one country. If one company collapses, it barely moves the needle. The whole market would have to collapse permanently for you to truly lose everything. And historically, it never has.
So, to wrap this up, here's the honest truth about index funds. They're boring. There's nothing exciting to talk about at parties. You won't wake up one morning and triple your money overnight. But you also won't lose it all on a stock tip from your cousin. You won't pay a fund manager to quietly underperform. And over the long run, 10, 20, 30 years, boring beats exciting almost every single time. Warren Buffett didn't get rich by chasing hot stocks. He got rich by understanding value, thinking long-term, and respecting the power of compounding. And when he tells regular people to buy index funds and go live their lives, that's probably the most valuable financial advice you'll ever receive. And it didn't cost you a thing. So open that brokerage account. Find a low-cost index fund. Invest consistently. And then go do something more interesting with your time. The market's got it from here.